Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the Network News for today, Monday, the 9th of November, 2020. I'm your presenter, Odette Campbell. In the news this evening, St. John family in tears as bamboo bursting fire victim succumbs to injuries. A night and early morning of horror for St. David family following a dust-up and chopping incident among village youth. Construction worker hospitalized from a fall after falling off a 3-story building. COVID-positive American couple could be brought to court following a breach of Grenadian quarantine protocols. Rastafarian tells young people not to take Prime Minister's utterance on marijuana to heart because the drug is still illegal. In sports this evening, Grenadians dominate Vinci T10 tournament. And in Around the Globe, Brav Gonzalez takes the oath for the 5th consecutive time as Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll bring you the details right after this message. Do stay with us.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
Well, tonight we start off with a story which brings heartbreak. It begins with bamboo bursting, which is a cultural tradition. Its crackling sound causes a lot of glee to those involved, but this time it leaves a St. John family in tears. The family is mourning the loss of a 10-year-old boy who died after sustaining first-degree burns to most of his body on the 1st of November. GBN's Rena Pei has been speaking with the family.
It was indeed a sad day for Natalie Vincent of St. John as she tried to come to terms with the loss of her only child, 10-year-old Zahim Vincent, to a tragic accident. Zahim sustained first-degree burns to 90% of his body while he was bussing bamboo on November 1st, a traditional practice done by Grenadians during the All Saints and Christmas season. The mother, who could barely stand during an interview with GBN, recalls her son's incident.
I was bussing bamboo with 2 friends. We started to bust the bamboo and then we heard a big explosion. Somebody was on fire, but I didn't know who it was. So when I saw the 2 friends he had, I realized it was him. So I started running to try to hold the fire on him. The time I reached to him, there was no fire, there was no smoke, there was nothing.
Zahim died at the General Hospital on Saturday, exactly 1 week after the incident. The family was in the process of making arrangements to transport the young student out of the country, as they were told that Grenada does not have a burn unit. Natalie's fiancé, Otto Houston, is concerned about the level of medical support available locally.
In Grenada here, they don't have no medication. We had to pay at least $5,000 for medication. Come on, that's not good. $5,000 we pay for medication. Got him, and he still died. In the first place, he got born, went to the health center. The ambulance was there. Nobody, they had to take a car to bring him to the hospital. I don't understand that.
Why was
they didn't help him in the health center. They told me he have to go to the hospital.
Zahim's aunt, Natasha Vincent, reminisced on her most recent experience with her nephew.
I saw him on the Wednesday. They allowed me to see him. I called him by his name. He responded. He opened his eyes. He nodded his head. He asked me for some water. They said that they can't give him anything. And he asked me for a Penacol. And I said, okay, I'll bring it to you. Knowing fully in my heart that he wouldn't be able to, use it. But just to show him that I did fulfill his promise.
The family said that officials at the General Hospital assisted them in making arrangements to get Zahim out of the country. But on the day he was scheduled to leave, he departed the earth. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
And we extend our condolences to the family. And we're moving to St. David, where a family felt like they were held hostage in their own home last night and into the early hours of this morning. The horror story started off as an altercation between a group of youngsters. It soon turned into a nightmare for the Williams family of Rucane in St. David. They related their story to GBN's Crystalina John.
Very, very frightening situation that before this happened, I felt safe in my home. But now I don't feel safe anymore, and I don't know how I'm going to sleep for the rest of the week, but I'm going to try to do it because, I mean, it was very, very scary. And
that was Afia Williams as she expressed the level of fear and panic that overwhelmed her following Monday morning's horror. Shattered windows and doors, pieces of glass scattered everywhere, the scene created from an unknown assailant. It's a horrendous sight no homeowner would want to face. Williams says having born and grew up in this area of Rucane, it's the first time she is living in fear. She relayed to GBN what happened.
Last night, I was asleep. It was about after 2 in the morning. I was asleep and I heard a commotion outside right behind my house. So I looked out and I saw a guy trying to wake the neighbors up. He was very loud. I'm not too sure if he was drunk or so on. And then a little after that, I heard bottles breaking. So when I looked out, I saw another guy with a cutlass. I'm not sure if he was after him or so, but the guy jumped and he was hiding under the house, and another guy was pelting bottles at him. I'm not too sure if chopping or anything happened because I went back to sleep.
It didn't end here.
After I heard all of the commotion, I heard a loud noise in my veranda, and the person was like, open the door, open the door. So by the time I looked out, the person started pounding on the kitchen door. Well, I got scared and I went back into my room. It was just myself, my sister, and my grandmother, only women here. So we went into my room and we locked, and I called the police because I wasn't sure whether or not the person got in. And based on how the house is, we can't see anything unless we come outside. So we were inside there for about 15, probably 20 minutes max while we were waiting for the police to come. And it's only when we came outside we saw the extent of the damage that was done. The guy damaged all of the doors, all the glass, all of the windows. I'm not sure if he was trying to come in, if he was trying to get rescue. I'm not too sure what would have happened, but everything happened while we were in the room, so we were just able to see the aftermath and the little commotion that I saw outside before.
GBN understands from sources in the area that the man involved in the attack on Williams' property was allegedly involved in an altercation with another individual prior to the house attack. The perpetrator received a chop wound to his face and the other in his arm. Williams applauded the quick response of the police, who came within minutes. The culprit was apprehended and taken into custody. She's thanking God that both herself and her family are safe. Christina John, GBN News.
Certain that it's a night they'd not forget for a long time to come. And they say when it rains, it pours. GBN understands that a young man was rushed to the General Hospital with serious injuries this morning after falling from a 3-story building. Police were called to a construction site at True Blue in St. George, where a construction company is spearheading a construction project, and the police were called to investigate. GBN reached out to the company and was informed that the matter is under investigation, and as such, no details could be provided. An informant, however, told GBN that the individual whose identity was not disclosed is alive and alert, but has complained of chest and back pain and is scheduled to undergo x-rays. That person added that all health and safety protocols are adhered to on the construction site. And moving on now to health news, an American couple could be taken to court in Grenada. They could face charges for violating the quarantine protocols and leaving several Grenadian nationals exposed to the virus. The couple arrived here in early November and tested positive for COVID-19. GBN's Rena Pear discussed the case with Health Minister Nicholas Steele today, and she sent us this report.
The 65-year-old doctor and his 53-year-old wife were approved for home quarantine by the Ministry of Health and were awaiting their PCR results when they left their home and visited 4 restaurant facilities in the south of the island. The contact tracing team was instantly engaged to source and quarantine all potential contacts of the couple. The couple was immediately isolated and the restaurants were immediately informed. The ministry reassures the public that every effort is employed to find and isolate anyone who may have been exposed to the infected couple. The 2 individuals have been transferred to state-approved isolation. In an exclusive interview with Minister for Health Nicholas Steele via telephone, said the Royal Grenada Police Force was notified of the violation and charges will be laid on the individuals.
They will be charged once they're medically cleared. Right now they're in isolation because they're positive. Once they're no longer positive, the police will all restaurant workers. The reason we don't is that I'm waiting on the final list in terms of people who live with other people.
Visiting National Kenny Purcell, case 25, a 37-year-old technician of Hermitage St. Patrick, was the last to be arrested for failing to remain in quarantine. Purcell came into the island on October 5, 2020 and was placed under mandatory state quarantine. He left the facility on the 8th of October 2020 before his test result was communicated to him and before he was officially released. He was placed on a $20,000 bail with 1 surety and subsequently fined $3,000 by the court. In a recent press release issued, the Ministry of Health drastically reduced the number of approvals granted to persons who requested to be quarantined at home due to the lack of capacity to effectively monitor, test and provide timely test results. The ministry said it is continuously amending and improving its operations through engagements with stakeholders to effectively control any potential spread of the virus. Officials from the Ministry of Health underscores the importance of personal responsibility in containing this disease. Individuals must take ownership of their health and that of others by being mindful of their actions. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
And this is Network News. Still to come, local Rastafarian warns young people against taking Prime Minister's comments on marijuana to heart. He reminds them that the drug is still illegal. And coming up on Beyond the Headlines tonight, we take the pulse of the nation. Do you think elections will be called in Grenada soon based on what has happened in St. Vincent, in Barbados, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Jamaica? Your thoughts on the U.S. elections? What do you think of Mr. Trump's refusal to concede? We'll talk about that with our analyst, Mr. Samuel Latouche, and attorney Denison George Forrester, who did predict last week that Donald Trump would lose the American elections. Don't forget to join us tonight at 8:35 for Beyond the Headlines. We'll be back with more news after this break.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. No interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Christmas is happening at Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo.
Have you tried it yet?
Then, what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of it, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. Low interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 on a merry note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Christmas is happening at Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And welcome back to Network News. The word cannabis is an illegal substance in Grenada, and until the law says otherwise, persons are being warned against the use and possession of it. One gentleman has taken it upon himself to reiterate the point. He spoke with GBN's Crystalina John.
Irvin Francis, better known as Soupmaster, is sounding a warning to youth of this nation. Don't be misguided. He is reminding that contrary to what is being said publicly, marijuana remains an illegal substance according to the laws of the land.
I just want the youth and them to just wise up, know that marijuana use is illegal, or the possession of marijuana, the use, the possession of or the use, how you want to put it, in the state of Grenada is illegal. And just be careful, because you may not like what might happen to you, your parents might not like what might happen to you, your friends may not like what happened to you. Until they legalize it, let's be wise.
Francis was speaking against the backdrop of his statement made recently by Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, Dr. Keith Mitchell, that the police should not be running after someone for a small portion of marijuana. He said this could be interpreted in the wrong way by young people, hence the warning.
First time I heard the Prime Minister talk about marijuana and the police and etc. For me, something inside of me went rejoicing in that way that what the man say. So it's like, yeah, we could use it now. I listened to the elders speaking, and I realized, oh, we have to be careful. We must be careful how we trod in that direction.
Francis wants young people to remember that there can be serious implications for possession of cannabis, which can hinder their possibility of gaining employment.
Police is a person now to use their discretion in any situation, when coming to the lawyer, because the police could meet a man with a joint and leave him alone. The police could meet a man with a joint and charge him. Yeah, that go down on your record. You go for a job, you have to fill out an application form. Have you been involved with the law? You write no because you lie. Or you write yes because you want to speak the truth. All of you take it is problems for you because you had a situation where you had a little spliff and the police hold you with a spliff and you get charged.
Crystalina John, GBN News.
And we're leaving the marijuana debate there for the moment, and we'll go to St. Andrew, where residents of Granborough are clamoring for help. They want urgent action to clear blocked bridges in the area. Actually, it's a blocked bridge. GBN's Rena Pear reports.
The Granborough Bridge is not only used as a frequent route for farmers at the Granborough estate and the persons traveling to Paraclete, Paradise and Lafayette, but also a place where many residents in the surrounding areas go for a cold river bath. Today, the bridge is covered with water as heavy rain resulted in blockage of the entrance of the bridge. This has led to erosion around the bridge and the collapse of a portion of road. Many believe if the problem is not swiftly rectified, the bridge will collapse altogether. Janet Henry lives in the area all her life.
This time, the time before, it overflowed and lots of bamboo came down and it blocked the mouth. And they never did anything to it. So as the river come a few days ago, it make another road, and as you see, part of the bridge gone. And if they don't do something to it, we're going to lose that part of the road. And this road is an important road. If anything happens to Paradise Bridge, all the vehicles is here, they have to pass to go to Sotes and what's not. And I think that is a bridge that the government should do something about.
Mrs. Henry is calling on government to do some extensive work on the bridge, as it is also a historic spot. She said the last time work was done in the area was some years ago, but it was said to be only temporary work.
A few years ago when they had the intercall there, when they came to do the bridge, I thought they was doing something. But when I went down there and the guy said what they was doing, I said, well, it don't make a sense. The river take its course already. All they have to do, build high and then And they tell me they was doing something it's just for 2 days. And I thought that wasn't a good answer, but I have nothing to say. I walk in the road for all the years I walk in the road for 36 years, 18 years in public works and 18 years in farmers, and I know a lot about the river. And if they don't do something immediately, we're going to lose that road here.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pe reporting.
Of course, the residents are hoping that the parliamentary representative and other officials will attend to their calls. And we're moving on to the General Hospital, which is without one of its units which assists with repair jobs. Fire gutted the unit on Sunday.
No disruption to hospital services. That's according to Acting Permanent Secretary with responsibility for hospital and community services, Hannah St. Paul. An early morning fire in one of the storage units of the General Hospital destroyed all of the contents within. Fire officials responded but were not able to salvage anything. GBN spoke with St. Paul on Monday about the fire.
That fire took place in the early morning of Sunday at about 12 a.m. On Sunday, and it wasn't directly the maintenance building. It was a storage container that is we use for storing used items, and also we have some new parts for AC units and so stored in that container. So that was destroyed. However, that doesn't interrupt or disrupt our services that we presently offer at the hospital, because that fire took place away from our main building. So there were no damages to the main hospital itself. As I said, it was just a storage container.
She explained the next step.
This morning, Monday, we are going to be doing a damage assessment of what has been destroyed there. The fire was reported and extinguished by the police, so they are presently doing investigation as to what would have caused the fire. So we are now awaiting the report as to what would have caused the fire.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
And it's time for tonight's pictorial view. GBN ISO. Let's see what makes it into that segment this evening.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's ISO features an interesting photograph of what appears to be melons growing out of a papa tree. Though it cannot be proven by the photo whether it is authentic or not, it is indeed an interesting sight. You can send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms.
And this is Network News. Still to come from us this evening. Grenada sends congratulations to the U.S. President-elect Joe Biden. And on Beyond the Headlines this evening, analyst Samuel Latouche and attorney Dedison George Forrester will take the pulse of the nation. We ask you to share your thoughts on whether Grenada is getting ready for what could be early polls. Will the opposition parties be ready? And an analysis of the U.S. elections. CNN anchor Van Jones was in tears on Saturday. We'll relive that moment on Beyond the Headlines this evening as we take the pulse of the nation. This is Network News. Do stay with us.
Sunday, 15th November. The annual Grenadian General Insurance Half Marathon is on. Race starts at 2 p.m. at Corinth through Redgate Wester Hall, Grandad's Valley, Belmont, Kirani Gyms Boulevard, and onto the Kirani Gyms Athletic Stadium. Transportation will be provided. One bus leaves River Sally at 12 noon and passes through Grenville. Another leaves Sates and passes through the western side. Two buses leave the NIS car park at 1 p.m. passing through St.
grandpas and grandaunts. Monetary prizes for the top 10 male and female finishers in the half marathon, and cash prizes for the top 5 finishers in the 10K. The oldest finisher and the school or club with the most finishers. The annual Grenadian General Insurance Half Marathon, Sunday, 15th November.
They say sometimes less is more, but at Real Value IGA Supermarket, we believe more is more. And since we are all about more, we want to buy more from farmers like you so we can sell more to our customers. If you have a farmer's ID and fresh produce to sell, Real Value IGA wants to buy.
For more information, contact Real Value IGA on WhatsApp at 405-4405 or give them a call at 439-2121.
The Franklins are returning from their dream vacation, but they soon discover that their world has changed.
They want to test Papa for COVID-19. Why they don't test all them damn people that are flying on the plane with the woman they call in Patient Zero?
Heritage Theatre presents Patient Zero, a full-length play written by Chris DeRiggs, directed by Neela Etienne. Patient Zero, a story about a family and a nation under the grips of COVID-19.
Madness! Pure madness!
He got the whole world in his hands. We got the whole world in his hands.
I mean, your father has just been carried away on a stretcher, and all you can say is you're locked up and you're frustrated?
What do you want me to say? I'm locked up, I'm frustrated.
Patient Zero at the Grenada Trade Center.
They ain't even allowing 2 Dashing to come from St. Vincent. All they're talking about is curfew, curfew, curfew.
Social distancing and other safety protocols will be in place.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Introducing the new Digicel Prime Bundle. It's simply more bundled together. 54 gigs for 7 days for only $25. More data, more fun. Activate today on the My Digicel app.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with Tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787, or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Everyone connected plus Flow equals a new way of living. And now when you add a mobile line to your Flow in-home service, you have 2 great ways to stay connected and save. Get 20% off your 7 or 30-day prepaid plan, or save 30% on a postpaid plan. That's how we save and stay connected. Call us or visit discoverflow.co today. Terms and conditions apply.
And welcome back. We continue to follow the U.S. elections, and congratulatory messages continue to pour in for the president-elect Joe Biden. Grenada's Prime Minister is among those celebrating his victory at the polls.
Commenting on the results, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said, "There were some obvious challenges along the way, but I think ultimately democracy has prevailed, and I extend congratulations to the Biden-Harris team on their victory. The win is particularly historic as it not only introduces a female vice president for the first time, but she is a woman of color with Caribbean roots. This is a win on many levels, and in a world where we continue to work towards equality of the sexes, this is extremely significant." Since the November 3rd election, the atmosphere has been very tense as the world waited with bated breath for the results. CNN's political correspondent Van Jones was moved to tears as he shared his thoughts on the win during live coverage on Saturday. Dr. Mitchell also became emotional. He said, "I will admit that as I watched Van Jones on Saturday morning, I was also overcome with emotion and shed a few tears. This isn't a simple win. There is so much more to this election victory." Like Van Jones, he said, "It speaks to the endorsement of character as an important trait. It offers vindication for those who have suffered, and it provides hope for a better future. I, too, am hopeful that our Grenadian brothers and sisters in the United States can experience that better future." Acknowledging that the split in votes illustrate a deep divide among Americans, Dr. Mitchell said he was very pleased to hear the president-elect speak of healing and rebuilding the American society and being a president for all Americans. The Prime Minister also welcomed the aggressive approach being taken by the president-elect to address the COVID-19 pandemic. He said, "It is important that all countries take decisive action to address the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly those like the United States, where cases continue to skyrocket. With a growing number of our nationals returning home, as well as increasing tourist arrival, this can have significant implications for us in Grenada. Therefore, I welcome the urgency with which President-elect Biden plans to address the issue." For GBN News, Janelle McDonald.
And of course, on Beyond the Headlines this evening, we'll be dissecting issues related to the American elections, and we'd have a panelist including Grenadian attorney in the United States, Mr. Forrester, who was on with us last week. That should be a very interesting program indeed. And back at home, Grenada joined other Commonwealth countries on Sunday to observe Remembrance Day in honor of soldiers who lost their lives in the line of duty in World War I. The observance took place at the Botanic Gardens with the traditional parade by members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Governor General Dame Cécile Lagrenade, Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Dr. Keith Mitchell, other government officials and dignitaries were in attendance. They laid wreaths in memory of those who died. This was followed by the ceremonial blessing by members of the clergy. And we're moving off the mainland and into the Sister Isles, where we find that a new emergency operations center and warehouse has been opened in Carriacou. It's valued at $2.7 million. It's being financed by the U.S. Southern Command's Humanitarian Assistance Project. The U.S. is also financing the new NADMA headquarters in Montjaloux, St. George, valued at $3.9 million. Both projects will be completed by March next year, according to the contractors. The center in Carriacou will serve as an important substation for the NADMA agency here on the mainland. The U.S. government previously funded the construction of two smaller emergency operation centers on both mainland Grenada and the other sister island of Petite Martinique. And do stay with us this evening. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, he takes the oath. It's the 5th consecutive time as PM. And we've heard about the heavy rains associated with ETA. Well, residents in one part of Jamaica, they're very worried as to what will happen. And we're also going to the UK, where we find that they're doing some mandatory testing, whether you have COVID symptoms or not. You won't want to miss those stories. Do stay with us.
Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Have you tried it yet? Then what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do three things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Opio.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato. You can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound. Lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
And this is Network News. ETA has been causing a lot of problems in the Northern Caribbean. Sigoni Mohammed will keep us up to speed.
Take a look at what's in store for us as the week begins anew, and what we're seeing across the Atlantic is that there is a lot of activity happening, and we do have areas of interest to look out for. In particular, in the central portion of the Atlantic, there's tropical wave or surface trough activity over our area right now, and we are also monitoring Tropical Storm Ada. Yeah, this system is still very much alive in the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll be discussing a lot of things a little bit later on in our Tracking the Tropics segment, so you want to look out for that and see it in terms of what's happening over there. Closer to home, what we're seeing is that we have a surface trough at play in the Eastern Caribbean. It's impacting a lot of the islands. Tobago got some showery activity overnight into today, and what we're seeing, or last evening rather, into today. And Trinidad, not so much. We got a little bit of cloudiness, we got a lot of sunshine, but not a whole lot of rainfall action taking us through this afternoon into the evening period. So what can we expect tonight? Because the bulk of that moisture is pretty much north of Tobago at this time. So what you'll notice for Trinidad is simply, and Tobago of course, is that it's still quite cloudy out there. We do have some showery activity, some form of light to moderate precipitation picking up as the evening progresses, and that takes place overnight. And our temperatures, not too bad, quite comfortable in the mid-20s. But tomorrow, you'll notice between sunrise and sunset that cloudiness overnight kind of stays with us into the morning period, and it's going to produce some partly sunny spells. So you'll get the mixture of cloudiness and sunshine, but the majority of the day will be quite warm and sunny, and that's where we get our high temperatures coming in at 33 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, a whopping 32 degrees Celsius for Tobago, and we are also expecting that quick passing shower across the islands. You want to have the umbrella on hand because some of these showers may just be light to moderate by mid-afternoon, but they could be a little bit on the heavier side along hilly and western areas, so be mindful as to what's happening here and have the umbrella with you in case you're in one of those spots where you get a heavier downpour compared to everywhere else. That again picks up into the early afternoon, taking us throughout the evening hours before it settles down yet again. So no real flooding situation happening here, but we could see some activity for you farmers because there is good news for you, especially this time around as November is set to be on the wetter side of things. So at this time, the forecast does call for near normal to above average rainfall for this month of November. However, it is also a month that is notoriously known for producing serious flood risks in flood-prone areas. And you notice that's those low-lying areas where agriculture is taking place. So, while the ongoing wet season provides reliable rains for rainwater harvesting or collection, we could also see an increase in water ponding. So farmers, this means that you should expect some of your farms to become flooded and waterlogged during periods of prolonged rainfall. And in particular, this week ahead, we will see days with spotty showers and sunshine. So take time to grub out all of those weeds and other plant pests that may be lurking around. You also want to start working on your seed beds so that you can plant those during those warmer yet mixed days ahead. And know that with higher temperatures forecast during the daytime hours, it is best to plant your seedlings late in the afternoon, and that's to avoid wilting. You don't want that happening. Now into next week we go, and this week of the forecast, conditions will be promising for vine and above ground crops, but as showers become just a little bit heavier on those mixed days, and we also start to see isolated thunderstorms picking up, well, this may lead to some other issues developing by the end of the month. Remember, of course, that certain low-hanging fruits and vegetables, even pumpkins and melons, they cannot tolerate waterlogging, so have your pumps serviced and ready to remove excess water when the time comes. And that's for the water ponding, of course. So with that said, that's a wrap on this week for your Farmers Forecast. Have a great and safe week planting.
And now for a look at the weather forecast. Tonight's minimum temperature 23.5 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate scattered showers and a medium chance of thunder. It should improve by morning. And the winds east-southeast to southeast at 12 to 22 miles per hour. The tides high at 10 o'clock this evening. They'll be low at 5:15 tomorrow. Our marine advisory remains in effect. And we're looking ahead to the next couple of days. Let's see what will happen. On Tuesday, generally fair and hazy, windy, increasing cloudiness at times overnight, and we do expect some light to moderate showers. And on Wednesday, we have a similar weather pattern, generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with some brief showers. And on Thursday, very little change is expected, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with light to moderate scatter showers. So we should be in for a good week weather-wise this week. And that's the local weather forecast.
Hills and Valley Med Care Center, located on Grenville Street, St. George's, has a highly professional team that gives excellent service in massage therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, medical consultation, and more. Hills and Valley Med Care Center sells a wide range of medical supplies, offers home visits for patients in Grenada and Carriacou, and opens Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Visit or call Hills and Valley Med Care Center today, 435-6904.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Well, good evening, sporting fans. We've got a lot of local activities going on, and we're going to start with the Wagiti football tournament, where we find that Happy Hill FC, Sab Spartans, and Shamrock Sports Club are among teams which have qualified for the second round of the Wagiti Super Knockout Football Tournament. They emerged victorious in weekend matches. On Friday, Kendall Alexander scored a hat-trick for Happy Hill FC as they defeated Bellevue Rangers 5-0. In the second match, Sab Spartans SC achieved a remarkable comeback, being 4 goals down in the first half to Police Sport Club. Jamal Giddens scored a hat-trick and Randall Mark a brace to win the game 5-4. Saturday's matchup also saw the national under-17 team defending Hurricanes Young Gunners 1-0. While Queen's Park Rangers got the better of Sunsetters 3-1 from a hat-trick from Raquel Charles. Meanwhile, on Sunday, Shamrock Sports Club thrashed Moncton Sports Club 7-0. Fontenoy United FC beat Paradise FC Juniors by 1-0 with a lone goal from Ruel Andrews. And we're moving right along now to the GFA Cup tournament. We are staying with the local football as that tournament finally gets underway on Tuesday with several matches on the fixture. Hindered by the inclement weather last week, the matches will now be played on Tuesdays and Wednesdays every week at 4 venues around the island. Queen's Park Rangers 1969 will come up against Shantimel FC. Then it's Hurricanes SC versus Combined Northerners at Cuthbert Peters Park. North Stars will take on Willis Youth, and Shamrock will battle Springs at Fawn Playing Field. Over at Victoria Park, Paradise International is scheduled to play Christian Strikers, while Hard Rock will take on Bellevue Rangers. And finally, it's a SAFL Police Sports Club matchup at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, followed by a GBSS Monkridge matchup. The opening matches are carded for 6 o'clock, while the second encounters will begin at 8:15. And we're moving on to the Under-15 tournament, and we find that the finalists for the Sandals National Under-15 Championship were determined over the weekend. Queen's Park Rangers Under-15 was the first team to advance to the finals after defeating Hurricanes 2-1. Darrell Phillip and Daniel Mitchell were the scorers for QPR, while Nash and Sylvester scored for Hurricanes. St. John's Sports Under-15 eliminated the defending champs Paradise through a lone goal from Devani Ferguson. Queen's Park Rangers will take on St. John's Sport in the finals. And we're moving over to St. Vincent, where Grenadians are just doing things. We find that our local boys, Emmanuel Stewart and Ryan John, captured the man of the match titles for games 1 and 2 of the Vinci T10 tournament, which commenced over the weekend. Emmanuel smashed 3 6s and 3 4s as his team, Botanical Gardens Rangers, chased down a reduced total to defeat the Grenadine Divers.
My I thought that we gave a very good effort with the ball, first and foremost. So credit to the guys for that. I thought the wicket was a bit slow, so it was important that we use our variations with the ball. I think we still have room for improvement going forward. With the bat, obviously it was unfortunate that the rain came at the halfway stage, so we had to get a reduce amount of overs and runs. So, I mean, coach asked me to go on top because I was initially slated to bat at 3. So I was going to just give it a go, and if we get there, we get there. If we didn't, then we just move on from there because it was an interrupted game. So I think all in all, it was a good performance from the team, but we're going to keep looking to improve going forward.
Well done. Well, Tyrone Teofil was 6-1 and Wayne Harper 32 had given drivers a grand total of 114 for 3 from their 10 overs. Ryan John of Grenada, playing for Salt Pond Breakers, smashed 46 runs from just 17 balls to help his team reach a mammoth total of 138 for 6 in the 10 overs. Ryan John again performed with the ball, taking 1 wicket for 9 runs to restrict the Dark View Explorers to 99 runs.
First of all, I want to give thanks to God Almighty for having me here. I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but nevertheless, cricket is cricket. So definitely just back myself and my ability to come out and perform, and it proven that it was good enough for the team victories today.
So you guys won the match today. What does that mean for your team and for the tournament?
Well, definitely it's a confidence booster because our team is defending from last year, so it's a good start to the tournament. Give ourselves a chance to see where we're at going forward.
And we say well done to the Grenadian boys. And we're moving on to the IPL. Shimron Hetmyer scored an unbeaten 22 ball on Sunday as the Delhi Capitals defeated the Sunrisers Hyderabad by 17 runs to book a spot in Tuesday's final of the 2020 IPL. It's their first trip ever to an IPL final, where they face 4-time champions the Mumbai Indians. Hetmyer hit 4 fours and a 6 and shared a 52-run partnership with Shekhar Dhawan, who top scored for the Capitals with a 50-ball 78. The half-century stand came up in just 25 balls, with Hetmyer scoring 34 of them as the Capitals raced towards their match-winning total of 189 for 3. Chasing 190, the Sunrisers stumbled on, however, they fell short on 172 for 8. The Delhi Capitals now face Mumbai Indians in the final on Tuesday. Let's look back at some of the match highlights.
6 more for Williamson. Back-to-back half-centuries for Kane Williamson. He was there at the end in the previous encounter. He would love to be there at the end tonight. How about that? How about that, Samad? Beautiful. Is that gone over third man? 1 bounce.
Brilliant. It's in the air, it's in the air, it's in the air. Kagiso Rabada. Oh, Hardik. Right, the field underneath. Doesn't go 6. Right, he's gone offside this time. He's found the space. Right, it's gone high, soaring into the night sky. Now down the ground is a fielder takes the catch.
And I was a child, I always heard it was cricket, lovely cricket. These days I get to appreciate just why they coined the phrase. That takes us to the end of the sporting line. When we come back, Rav Gonzalez places his hand on the Bible for the 5th consecutive time and says, I do. We'll tell you about that in the GBN Around the Globe segment. Well, it's time to take our probe around the globe. We start in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where Ralph Gonsalves has done it again. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Attorney General, was sworn in on Saturday as the ruling Unity Labour Party returned for the 5th consecutive term in office. Gonsalves led the ULP to a 9-6 victory over the main opposition, New Democratic Party. In process, he registered his record-breaking 5th consecutive victory at the polls.
We have just gone through an epic electoral battle. Her Excellency is correct that the election was very competitive, and the results indicate that the country, broadly speaking, is split down the middle politically, with a 0.5% or 1 percentage point or thereabouts, dividing the parties in respect of popular votes. And we need to make sure, as you have said, Your Excellency, to the extent that there is a requisite for healing, and there are some bruised sentiments on both sides and feelings, that what is important for us to recognize is that we all belong to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we are part of this magnificent Caribbean civilization.
And we're moving on to Jamaica, where distraught residents of 9 Miles, Bull Bay in St. Andrew are blaming Sunday's widespread flooding of several houses in the community on substandard desilting work being done by men in the channels of the Chalky River. Tropical Storm Eta, which formed in the Central Caribbean last week, unleashed heavy showers on the island, triggering landslides in several communities and bringing severe flooding to others. Residents who spoke to the Jamaica Observer yesterday said the silting work, which began approximately 6 days ago, was left incomplete, providing a channel into the community for raging waters from the Chalky River. And residents in Gordon Town, St. Andrew, are on edge following a series of land slippages in the community. Yesterday, after heavy rains associated with Tropical Storm Eta's outer bands has lashed the island, damaging houses, roads, and downing power lines. Several residents who spoke to the Jamaica Observer said they would be having a sleepless night as they braced for further impact from the storm that has cut off the main road into the community. And we're moving internationally. Citywide testing is what we're going to look at this time. The United Kingdom's first attempt at citywide COVID-19 testing is underway in Liverpool. Every resident has been offered a test regardless of whether they're displaying symptoms. Al Jazeera's Jonah Hull has this report from one of the testing sites.
Could this be the blueprint for an exit strategy from COVID-19? The government in England hopes so, as the army is drafted in to support mass testing in the city of Liverpool.
It's a pilot. We will not get everything right. The point of a pilot is to learn from this, learn what works well, learn what works less well, so we can make improvements to it. Very excited about it. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the city, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity to demonstrate to the rest of the country and to the rest of the world how we can help live with COVID.
Rapid turnaround testing technology makes it possible to offer tests to every person regardless of symptoms. A self-administered swab first. Followed by a new lateral flow test that the government has invested many millions in acquiring, similar in function to a pregnancy test. And there it is, notification received on my phone via text message. Around an hour after the test took place, your coronavirus test result is negative. This is hugely significant, of course, the first step towards discovering whether the government's wider aim of mass testing the entire population of the country regularly, dubbed Operation Moonshot, whether that has a shot at success. Regular mass testing means identifying and isolating those infected with the virus at all times, even if they're asymptomatic, while those who haven't got it can go about their business.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll learn today that it's negative and that we can go ahead and live our life.
We're all asymptomatic, so we've got no evidence that we have COVID, but it's the right thing for us to do, because the quicker we can get the country tested, the quicker we can get back to some form of normality.
For many, the wait on day one was long as systems were set up for a pilot project only announced a few days ago. With England in lockdown once again, everyone is in a hurry to find a way back to normal life. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, Liverpool.
Is that really possible? We'll see what happens. And that takes us to the end of our probe around the globe. When we come back, we remind you of tonight's leads. Do stay with us. Recapping the main points in the news this evening, St. John family in tears as bamboo bursting fire victim. A 10-year-old succumbs to his injuries. A night and early morning of horror for St. David family following a dust-up and chopping incident among village youths at Rucane. Construction worker hospitalized following a fall from a 3-story building at Trublu. COVID-19 positive American couple could be brought to court following breach of quarantine protocols. Rastafarian tells young people not to take the PM's utterance on marijuana to heart because the drug is still illegal and they could be arrested by local police. And in sports this evening, Grenadians dominate Vinci T10 tournament. And in around the globe, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves takes the oath for the 5th consecutive time as Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Coming up in Beyond the Headlines this evening, we'll be taking the pulse of the nation. Analyst Samuel Atuch and attorney Denison George Forrester will be doing so. We ask you to share your thoughts tonight on whether Grenada is getting ready for what could be early elections. Will the opposition parties be ready? And we also go back and take an analysis of the U.S. elections. CNN anchor Van Jones was in tears on Saturday. Just in case you missed that one, it was a powerful moment. We will relive that with you on Beyond the Headlines. You won't want to miss it. I'm Odette Campbell on behalf of the entire news team. See you at 8:35.